Happy Valentine's month, everybody. I'm the Sliders Review, and I'm here today to share with you some of my favorite Valentine's Day episodes from TV shows or even movies. Not everything is all lovey-dovey. Sometimes Valentine's Days deal with heartache and everything. So, some episodes will be romantic and lovey-dovey, while others will be very sad and heart-wrenching and stuff. But love is love. It doesn't always come with smiles and giggles and glee. So, I'm here today to talk to you about the New Adventures of Batman, episode 10, Torch Song. This is one of my favorite episodes from this season. One, it introduced a brand new villain who I had never heard of. He had a cool design. He had a very cool Batman comic book type motive. And it's like the visuals was something to be amazed about, something I've never seen before in a cartoon dealing with fire. Normally when you see fire, it's just regular fire. But no, the animators, they decided to add a blur effect to the background, which made it look real and everything. And I love that. And this was back when it was still hand-drawn cartoons on a cell. Chances are, because this was around the time they was about to start doing computer graphics and stuff like that, towards the middle of the second season of Batman Beyond. And so, of course, they send this stuff overseas, and so they probably scanned it in the computer, added a blur effect, this and that, and it came out amazing. This episode is also a little bit famous because it starts that flirting relationship between Bruce and Barbara, which is just still weird to this day. Nobody knew it was going to amount to what happened in Batman Beyond. Oh, it did. And stuff. It's just, ugh. It's weird because he's so much older. She's a lot younger. She's Dick age, you know what I'm saying? And he knew her father. I mean, come on, man. That could have been like an uncle to her or something like that. But anyways, so yeah, this introduces the character of Garfield Lynch, Firefly, who was a D-list villain in the comic book. So nobody really knew who he was, but they made him so interesting that it just stuck in people's minds. Sadly, they didn't use him that much afterwards. They only used him for one other episode later on that season in a very brief role, in an even briefer role in the Justice League animated series. However, he did find new life in the Batman cartoon series, and he also showed up in Batman Bad Blood as still a D-list villain who was just like a minion and stuff like that. But now he's gonna get his very first live action treatment in the Batgirl movie or TV series, whatever HBO Max is gonna do. So this episode revolves around a woman named Cassidy. She's a singer. She's actually voiced by a real life singer slash voice actress who was the voice of Miranda in Bonkers. I miss Bonkers. And so she's this huge singer, and so Bruce, he has tickets to go there with some girlfriend he's with, some rando girl. And Barbara happens to be there too. She gets the crappy Bat seats, and he gets the good front row seats. The other members of the Bat family do not show up in this, so no Nightwing and no Tiny Robin. And so we see a little weird smile with Barbara when it comes to Bruce. She's so excited to see him and stuff. This new version of Batgirl is very much smiley. Other than the one from Batman animated series. Excuse me, who's more serious and stuff like that. This one's more wisecracking and smiley, mainly because okay, remember when Alicia Silverstone played her in Batman and Robin? That version was very grumpy and stuff. But of course, Alicia Silverstone was very happy, giggly, and smiley from the Clueless movie. So they kept trying to throw in a little bit of that instead of from the Batman movie. But whenever she put on her cape and cowl, she was very serious and grumpy. So during this concert, Cassidy is talking to Garfield, which is her ex-boyfriend. She continued to let him work for her, only that he promised like to leave her alone. But he can't get over her. Like, he is literally obsessed with her to where he becomes a stalker and everything. This was very bold for Batman. Well, actually, this is actually this because they done it a couple of times. They did it with the Mad Hatter, and it's surprising because this is like a kids' cartoon. Also, with this being a kids' cartoon, they got away with using the word tramp, which is something you will never hear anymore on in any type of fashion. You won't hear it on live action or a cartoon. So I'm very shocked they did that. They also did some other stuff I'm very shocked as well. And so like he promises, whatever, I'll leave you alone and blah, 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 but I still like crazy about you. Anyway, during the performance, he's just like checking her out and he can't take it. He's just constantly getting irritated. He wants her so bad. And it's to the point where he bangs his hands on like the equipment, which causes the fire effects to go haywire. See, he's a pyrotechnician. And so he was going to do like the fire stuff for her like live show. But he made the flames too big. And then when her manager tries to stop him, this is when things get forceful. So of course he's on his villainous path. And so flames are everywhere and the whole building's like on fire, right? And so everybody's running like crazy. But Bruce is in there still and he wants to like stop what's happening, but he doesn't have his bat suit. And his girlfriend still messed it up. But then here comes Batgirl swinging in and saving Cassidy. And she saves her right before she's blown to smithereens and everything. And so, like, of course, the cops are now looking for him. And when they go inside his apartment building, whoo, it is a shrine full of pictures and candles. He has it bad. He is literally the Mona from Pretty Little Liars stalker type. And so, like, she's constantly getting notes from him. She gets, like, a letter with her picture on there. And since he's really good with pyrotechnics, he's able to cause the paper to burst into flames and everything. And so, at some point, I think he, like, attacks her in his costume. He does something. God, I forgot what it is. He does something. He attacks her. So weeks have passed by, right? And so she hasn't had like another concert and she's about to have one. And then her manager, he tells her, we got the best security for you. Nobody can get in. And of course, who gets in? Batman. He tries to talk to her, but she's flirting with him hardcore. And he doesn't want any part of that. And so he just wants information on Garfield and stuff. So at some point in time at one of her concerts, she is attacked by him. And not only is she attacked, but he sets the place on fire to the part where he's able to kidnap her. So Batman and Batgirl, they stake out his place. And as they're looking around and everything, he set booby traps. But he left behind like a pack of like matches. And that's what leads Batman to him. But yeah, he booby trapped the place. So Batgirl, being careless, she turns on the light switch and Batman can see it's rigged or something. And boom, flames and fire are everywhere. And this is the visual that looks so great. They did an amazing job. Like, it feels real. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, they're running out of oxygen. Flames going everywhere. He uses some bat bombs to, like, bust open the door, but there's still flames there. They are trapped. And you really feel like they're trapped and gonna burn to death, too. But since it's a cartoon, these are heroes, we know they're gonna be okay. So he picks up a giant tank of gas. He throws out the window. The explosion's enough to, like, brush the fire away. Long enough for them to grapple their way out of there. However, Batgirl gets injured when the explosion goes off for a second or third time. And then so she gets caught in the rubble and she's banged up bad. Alfred like attends to her and everything, but her ankle is messed up. And so she's pissed because she wants to whoop on Firefly. This Barbara is tough. Like the one from the anime series, when they wrote her, she was more determined. She was more like a kid, felt more like a kid who was trying to prove herself to both Batman and Robin. This one has now been fully trained by Batman, and she is just as good of a fighter as like Nightwing. In fact, she takes the void of like the Dick Grayson character and stuff. And so, like, and she's wearing a darker costume, which I really like. But this sets the mood because it's a much darker series. This was a very dark episode. And then, so Batman, he thinks he knows where Firefly is gonna be at, but Alfred doesn't want him to go out because his outfit is messed up. So Alfred gives him the bat armor. At that time, it looked really cool until Batman Beyond came out and it looked cooler. And until all the movies came out and it looks even more amazing. And also the Batman cartoon series. So even though this one's a nice design, it doesn't compare to all the newer ones. But of course, why does he have a bat armor and we never saw him build it? Because they want to sell toys. And it's sleek, but it is very sexy looking. And so, ironically, it has a gun attached to it. A giant gun. It looks like Mr. Freeze's freeze gun, but it never shoots out ice. It shoots out a puff of smoke and everything. Like a smoke bomb. So I don't know if it's Mr. Freeze's gun just been remodified, but then in Batman Beyond, the freeze gun is still a freeze gun, so I don't know. So as Firefly, he has um Cassidy all tied up. She's trying to like beg her way out of it. He's not listening, but he's telling her straight up, look, I created like this new type of like oil and everything that when you set on fire, it can burn through ice. The man is a genius and everything. He's constantly coming up with new fire-like inventions to the point where he says, like, look, we're gonna escape Gotham because everybody's looking for him. He's gonna set the oil down. It's like a gel. He's gonna put it all in the sewer systems, set it on fire, and then it's gonna burn for days. And then him and her are just gonna escape out the city. This man went nuts. He went from stalker nuts to I'll blow up the entire city nuts. And if Batman wasn't able to stop him, boy, he would have succeeded too. So of course, here comes Batman, his new armor, and the fire, of course, it protects him and everything, his suit. But this don't make no sense. His suit is made of metal. Firefly is not. Yet Firefly is able to beat and whoop on Batman wearing a metal suit. And Batman does get his butt whooped by this dude too. He's really huge and stuff. And then he has like a lightsaber made out of fire and everything. It's like insane. But then, of course, Batman ends up saving the day and ends up saving the girl. Whereas Firefly, because he couldn't whoop on him, Firefly actually got like taken out by like the building collapsing down on him and stuff like that. So afterwards, after she's all saved and stuff, every time she sees fire now, she is scared. She is forever traumatized now by fire. Every time she sees it, she thinks of him. That's some good psychological writing right there for a kid's cartoon. This was way before Young Justice came out. I really enjoyed this episode. It had a lot going for it. Action, suspense, cool visuals, a new suit, some cool partner work between Batman and Batgirl to where, like, seriously, Batman ends up like losing a lot in this episode, which is very rare. And it's nice to see the hero lose every now and then and stuff. Now, the Firefly in the Batman is a whole lot different. He's younger, he's fast talking. He doesn't use flames, he uses lasers. And he zips around on like a jetpack, which, yeah, this version has a jetpack too. How he created that, because there's no flames coming from it. It just hovers up and down. I don't know how he did that, but still. Now, wasn't that romantic? Or depressing, depending on what kind of video I just talked about. Okay, well, happy Valentine's Day, everybody, and bye.